third of the way through January. So happy 19th. It's been a busy week, an interesting week. Should be an interesting day tomorrow. I'm watching the news just to see what's happening. But it was just a blessing to be able to see all my family this weekend, even if it was over Zoom. So we had a Zoom meeting for my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom! And it was just a really beautiful get together. We get to see family literally from coast to coast and from down in the States as well. I got to see my Auntie Caroline from down south. So that was really good. She's in the States right now. So it was really amazing to see her. It was really good to see my Auntie Donna, who's living out on the West Coast. And of course, my uncle and my cookum. And oh, my cookum was on the phone, so I didn't actually see her. But it was really beautiful. And it just like reminded me of how important it is to just stay connected. And do it regularly. You know, it's great to do it for special occasions, but sometimes those special occasions don't come fast enough. So it's really important to connect more regularly than we would like to. And so, just to start in a good way, I always love to start with a land acknowledgement. This broadcast, I don't know if that's even what it's called. So, this live stream, I am actually going to focus on women's songs. Oh, and I'm going to actually turn my phone off as well, because apparently I didn't do that. So, because, you know, as much fun as listening to lemmings go off while I'm doing my live stream, that's no good at all. So, but I really want to focus on women's songs. I'm waiting until the end of the week so that I get a little bit more information on what's happening as far as the restrictions on whether we can gather, whether we can't. We'll definitely be doing a march for Valentine's Day, for the Memorial March, but it's just going to probably look a little differently since we have, you know, social distancing, since we of course won't be able to have that communal meal like we have every year, because we want to keep everybody safe. But I'm just waiting to hear the news before we kind of decide how we're going to go ahead with the Valentine's Day Memorial March. But in the interim, we definitely are going to be raising more money so that we can at least pay some elders if we end up doing a live stream, if we end up doing something else, that we actually have the honoraria for the elders, that we have that compensation for any of the musicians or artists or whatever that, or, you know, speakers or the family members that actually give their time to share their stories. I think it's really important to be able to do that, to be able to compensate in a good way. And, oh, I hope. Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't somebody going, I can't hear you. So, but yeah, so I really wanted to focus on those women's songs just so we do know them. So even if we are only outside marching and we're not doing the gathering inside like we do every year for the Valentine's Day Memorial March, at least we'll be able to share our voices and those songs together, because there's just something so powerful when we do sing together. So before we get started, I always love to open in a good way with the Cree Welcome Song and just by acknowledging where we are. So the Valentine's Day Memorial March that we do here in Mohkinstsis, we're here in Calgary in Treaty 7 territory. So I honor the families that this has directly affected. I honor the families that have been here for thousands upon thousands of generations. I honor the Blackfoot of Siksika, Kainai, and Piikani. Those nations have been, I mean, they're so strong and they've been standing up and fighting, you know, injustice since the very beginning of colonialism. And they have maintained their songs and their stories and their traditions. And it's just a blessing to be able to learn from so many different elders and knowledge keepers from those nations. I also honor Tsutsuna. They are Sarsi Dene out there, and they have also been affected by the murdered and missing Indigenous women. Honestly, if you're Indigenous, it's not whether you've been affected, it is how close to home has it hit. Because this is just a systemic issue that's been happening for, you know, hundreds of years, unfortunately, since colonization started to happen. That's when murdered and missing Indigenous women started to occur. And so this is why we need to address it and we need to curb it. We need to stop it from continuing any further. This is the job of our generation, I believe. We also honor the Stoney Nakoda from Morley, which is Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. Those are all individual nations with individual stories and songs and wonderful elders from those nations. I always love to go out there. Just the mountains are just phenomenal out there. So I'm just really, really thankful for all of those nations. And I feel so welcome here in Mohkinstsis. It is my home. It has been my home for many generations. Well, many generations. I say that because I have kids. But for many years, and I've left, and I've always ended up coming back because there's just something really special about this place. And so I honor Mohkinstsis. I honor the Métis Nation, Region 3, which is why I proudly wear my Métis sash, to honor that bridge between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. And also, I just want to honor everybody who calls Mohkinstsis home, because we have all come together to create community in different pockets in different ways, and it's just a blessing to be able to share that with everyone. And so, just to welcome everybody in the circle, I wanted to share the Cree Welcome Song. Traditionally, when we share songs, we sing in rounds of 4 to honor the 4 directions of the medicine wheel. But this song is a little bit different. We actually sing it in rounds of 3, and that's to keep the circle open and welcoming so everyone completes the circle today. Because in a circle, we're all connected. There's no beginning, there's no end. No one is greater or less than anyone else in the circle, just like in the Hoop of Life. So it teaches us to honor each other for those differences, because if everybody was exactly the same, the world would be incredibly boring and nothing would ever get done. And so we need those differences to be able to, appreciate and enjoy each other, but also so our community functions, because without it, it actually wouldn't. So this song, Mia Sin, is actually from the Natahau family from Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation in Saskatchewan. So I honor them for keeping this song and the story alive, because the song is really about inclusion. It's about welcoming everybody in, and it's about how beautiful it is to build community in a meaningful way. And for so many generations, we couldn't share our songs or our stories or our traditions or our culture or our art. And so it's a blessing to be able to have these songs to be able to share. And so Mia Sin, which is the Cree welcome song, it doesn't just mean welcome, it also means beautiful. That's what I have to sing. Mia Sin, Mia Sin, ha semina, ha semina, e petakote, niwa gomagan, hota, homa, kitaskino, miasen, miasen, hasemina, hasemina, e petakote, iwagomagan, hota, homa, kitaskino, miasen, miasen, hasemina, hasemina, e petakote, niwagomagan, hota, homa, kitaskino. Hi, and welcome to the circle today, everybody. So, before we start to share those songs, I'm just gonna do a quick smudge. I usually talk a lot about the medicines. I'm not going to talk so much about the medicines today, but just to honor and recognize that everybody has different medicines and smudges in different ways. So it's really about honoring what you need in your life, and honoring and acknowledging where those teachings have come from. And so I'm Cree, so I have a lot of Cree teachings, but I'm also Ojibwe, so there's some teachings that are Ojibwe that are mixed in there, or Anishinaabe. And so when I lay out my medicines, I lay them out OG Cree style. And so in the east, I have sweetgrass. In the south, I have cedar. In the west, I have sage. And then in the north, I have Kansasa, which is red willow bark, which is this lovely thing, which I get to go and scout some tomorrow. So hopefully, if it's good, I'll have some stuff, some fresh stuff to pick. And then we also have tobacco in the north as well, and that's our connection to spirit. And so when I smudge, I usually only smudge with sage, depending on what I'm doing. So just for like every day, it's usually sage, unless I'm really like I've got a lot of anxiety or I'm trying to make a decision, then I'll usually use sweetgrass, because sweetgrass is for our mind, whereas sage is just, it's for our emotions, and it's for just centering ourselves and grounding ourselves. But like I said, it just depends on where you're from and where your teachings are from. So in Blackfoot territory, they smudge all the time with sweetgrass. And to me, sweetgrass is the masculine medicine, the men's medicine. And so when I'm in a ceremony where there's sweetgrass, if I'm on my moon time, I'll take a step away. Just because when you're on your moon time, you're really strong, you're really powerful. And so you want to just take a step back to let that medicine do what it needs to do. Oops. Oops. Awesome. But I'm just going to smudge with sage. Also, in my teachings, because sage is the women's medicine, anyone can smudge with it at any time, even if you're on your moon time. There's other teachings that say if you're on your moon time, you're already going through your own personal ceremony, so don't bother smudging. But like I said, it just depends on what you need in your life. Now I'm going to tap that out. There we go. Pardon me. I'm going to just take out my earrings. So our earrings hold energy, or metal holds energy, so you want to just make sure that if you have anything on that's metal, you can remove it, just so that energy has a chance to kind of get off, so you're not carrying anything that you don't need. I've got a lot of layers on today. Pardon me. And I'm wearing these earrings today, which are my beautiful red dress earrings, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why in a bit. But before we get started, I just wanted to smudge. So again, just to acknowledge the 4 directions, even if I'm not using all 4 of the medicines, I'm always laying them out so that I can honor them and really respect the medicine and respect the energy that it holds. In the East, for me, that's our mind, that's our male ancestors, that's grandfather, son, that's our childhood, and so we have to honor that. We have to honor the South, because that's our physical body. This is why it's connected to cedar, and it's connected to Mother Earth and all that Mother Earth can teach us. All of the animals and plants, they have different things to teach us as well. So that's that wisdom that's within our body, that if we're deeply connected to our body and the earth, that's the wisdom that we can hear. And cedar is the medicine that actually helps us with that. And it's a really good healing medicine as well, in moderation. Honestly, only a little bit. You only need a little bit. It goes a long way. You can boil it, put it in your bath. It's amazing. I've been using it a lot this week, and having a bath late at night just to loosen my muscles. I'm having a lot of pain in my hip, just because I've had 4 hip surgeries. So of course I have a little bit of pain in there sometimes. But the cedar has really helped me. In the West, that's the women's medicine. That's when we become adults. That's our emotions. It's connected to water. So we have fire in the East, water in the West. That balance there. It's that masculine energy in the East, that feminine energy in the West. And it's that reminder that we are actually a balance of both. And what Two Spirit people are is they're that outward balance of both. And so it reminds us and helps us to recognize that power within us, that balance within us. And so both those medicines have to work in tandem. Both those energies have to work in tandem. And sage is really good for just connecting community. It's for bringing everyone together. This is why we use it in almost every ceremony, and that's to bring everyone together before we start that ceremony. And then in the west, in the north, that's our connection to spirit. It's our connection to our elderly years. It's our connection to creator, to prayers, and it's our connection to faith. So this is why we have tobacco in the north, because tobacco, we don't actually use tobacco. We don't breathe it in. We don't smoke it. We don't drink it. It's actually not meant for our bodies, but we pray with it. So it's a spiritual medicine. It's a symbolic medicine. So it's really about acknowledging the power that faith has, the power that, we trust in this medicine to share our prayers. That's what faith is prayers. And just like we can't see the air, but we breathe, so we know it's there. And just like we can't see spirit, but we know it's there. And so this is why we always have tobacco to honor each other with, or to lay down for different plants and animals, to give back to the earth. It teaches us just to be humble and to always give something back. And so when we smudge, there's 4 directions in the smudge bowl. The medicine, whatever we put in, that represents earth. The bowl itself represents water. When we light it on fire, it represents fire. And then the smoke represents spirit, because that's all of our prayers going up to creator. I'm going to put that on top. So I'm going to smudge really quick. And there's no right or wrong way to smudge. It's whatever feels good to you. I tend to only use matches when I light it, because I find that you want to do something that's a little bit more natural. I mean, of course, you're not going to take like a flint and steel. I mean, you might, but you want to keep it as natural as possible. If you have a lighter and that's all you have, you can definitely light a stick and then light your smudge, but try and not put the butane directly on the smudge, because it just takes something away from that. So the first thing I do is I clean my hands in it. And again, no right or wrong way. It's just whatever feels good to you. Bring it over my body 4 times to honor the 4 directions in my body. Remember to fan it with your hand. Don't blow on it, because your breath is your life, and your life is precious, and don't waste that for anybody. I'm going to smudge my mind so I can think clearly, and I can learn from every person that crosses my path. So I can remember to be open-minded, never rigid with my thinking, so that I can allow possibilities to take forth in my ideas. Smudge my ears so I can listen twice as much as I speak. This is why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. But also so I can be open to hear all of the messages that Creator sends me. Smudge my eyes so I can be open to see all of the beauty that surrounds me. I'm very thankful for my vision this lifetime, and so I can see all of the beauty that Creator has made in the world. Smudge my nose so I smell danger and cookies, but also to honor all of our senses, because they all guide us in some way. I smudge my mouth so I speak only true and kind words that are helpful and benefit mankind. I smudge my throat because I'm very thankful for my voice this lifetime, so I can continue to give voice to the voiceless, and also to honor the voice that Creator has given me to share my songs in a good way. I smudge my lungs so I can breathe good, clean air. Very thankful for the air. I smudge my heart so I can remain kind and compassionate and show unconditional love to all those around me, to my friends, to my family, to those I haven't met yet, but also to show that compassion to myself and that kindness to myself. Because sometimes we're pretty hard on ourselves. I smudge my stomach so all of the food that I eat this day will nourish my body. Very thankful to have food. I smudge my womanhood, because I'm very thankful to be a woman and a mother in this time, although I'm a two-spirit woman and I walk both paths of masculine and feminine teachings. I'm still in this feminine body, and I have had kids, so I'm very thankful for my children. I'm going to smudge my shoulders and my back so I can carry all of the responsibilities that Creator's gifted me with grace and humility. I smudge my arms and my hands so I can continue to do the good work that Creator's put me here to do. So I'm very thankful for my hands as an artist. I smudge my legs so I can walk this red road in a good way. And I'm going to smudge my feet so I stay grounded and connected to Mother Earth, treading lightly upon her and honoring her with her every step. And then if there's anywhere else in your body that you need a little extra love, again, my hips, need a little extra love there. I've got a tickle in my throat, so I'm going to smudge there, and I'm going to have some cedar tea after this. And then my shoulders and my neck. But also, if there's anyone else in your life that maybe they're struggling, maybe they're struggling with a need healing, whether that be emotional healing, spiritual healing, physical healing, or mental healing, just hold them in your heart and bring that smoke to your heart to honor them and send that prayers and that love to them. And then when you're all done, you can say hi or language or merci or thank you or grazie or however you say thank you in your language, because your language is a part of you. And so, I'm sharing these teachings, and these are Cree and Anishinaabe teachings. They can they're actually in a lot of other cultures. So it's important to find what resonates and relate it to your culture. So it's not about appropriation, it's about really appreciating where those teachings are coming from. And so that's the big difference. Appropriation doesn't acknowledge where it comes from, whereas appreciation does. Appreciation honors and respects the time that it's taken for those teachings to travel to you, the time that it's taken for us to preserve a lot of these teachings, because for so many years we weren't allowed to speak our languages or share our stories or share our songs. And so this is a blessing, this is a gift to be able to share it with everyone, for them to be able to use it in a good way. And so, being said, I want to send love and gratitude to my friend Stephanie. Today is a hard day for her, so every year we march, we do a march for her daughter. We do Justice for Joey. And every year Stephanie marches from Piikani Nation, which is almost at the American border, up into Mohkinstsis, up into Calgary, for the Sisters in Spirit March in honor of her daughters. And she's just such an incredibly, just beyond words how much I honor and respect and I love her for all that she does for the community, all that she does for her family, and she's just an inspiration. In spite of everything that she's gone through, she has been a frontline warrior in so many aspects, and she has raised her beautiful grandkids, and she's just one of the strongest warrior women I know, and I'm just humbled and blessed to have her in my life. And her daughter Joey was taken from us, but today is her birthday, so she would have been 30 today. And it was just so unjust, and we have a hard time within our community when you find who did this to your loved one and they still get away with it, and that's really heartbreaking. But it's important to show that the community is all around the family, and we're still striving for justice, we're still striving for answers. And so I honor Stephanie today, and I honor Joey and her memory. And this is why I'm dedicating this particular live stream to her, but also to all of our sisters who are still striving for justice. And I'm going to be doing all women's songs today, so everybody's like, yay, women's songs. So I'm going to start with the women's honor song, Anagea, just to honor Stephanie and to honor all of those wonderful women who have stepped into those roles and are raising, their grandkids or their nieces and nephews, and because that's what you do. That's what a warrior does. You step in when you're needed, and you step up, and you don't complain, you just get it done. And so I honor all of those warrior spirits, even though our loved ones have been taken from us, and that leaves a huge hole. we have to be able to pick up and move forward and make sure that their legacy and their voice does not die with them. And so this is Anagea, which is from Joan Henry. She's a Arapaho Cherokee. And, oh, I just realized that this is really low, so I'm going to just tip this up just a touch. And you can find her on YouTube for Joan Henry. And this is Anagea, the Women's Honor Song. Anagea, weha weha, weha no way, weha weha, weha weha, weha ah ah ah. Anagea, weha weha, weha no way, weha weha, weha weha, weha ah ah ah. We know way, no way, we know way we are. We know way, no way we oh hey we are. We high, we high, we high, we are. Anagea, we ha, we ha, we ha no way, we ha, we ha, we ha, we ha, we ha. We know way, no way, we know way we are. We know way, no way we oh hey we are. We high, we high, we high, we are. Anagea, we ha, we ha, we ha no way, we ha, we ha, we ha, we are, we are. We know way, no way, we know way we are. We know way, no way we oh hey we are. We high, we high, we high, we are. Anagea, we ha, we ha, we ha no way, we ha, we ha, we ha, we are, we are. We know way, no way, we know way we are. We know way, no way we oh hey we are. We high, we high, we high, we are. Anagea, we ha, we ha, we ha no way, we ha, we ha, we we are. So I'm actually going to move my chair out of the way so that I can sit over here and be a little bit more central. Oh. So the next song I'm going to share, I'm going to go like this really quick. And then I'm back in focus. The next song I'm going to share is, it's another women's song. So this is the mother's song. And it's really about a mother's struggle to raise their children, but also it's dedicated to all of those who didn't have the opportunity to raise their children, whether it was through the 60s scoop that they lost their children, or whether it was through the residential school system or residential school 2.0, which is the foster and social system. Not only here in here in Canada, but also across the world, Indigenous children are woefully represented in a lot of our systems because they are broken. The systems are broken and they don't understand Indigenous ways of knowing. They don't give us the opportunity to heal those broken relationships and heal from intergenerational trauma. And so when we sing this song, it's really about acknowledging that we have to heal together to be able to raise our next generation in a good way. And so this is the mother song. And it's a mother calling out and her children drifting further and further and further away. hey, oh. So that was the mother song. I'm going to share the only Blackfoot song I know, which I actually learned from Stephanie, as well as from my friend Sandra. And we march for their family members every year. And it's just amazing that in spite of your biggest loss, sometimes you are still so giving. And it's a blessing to be surrounded with such strong and powerful warrior women who have been through so much but still continue to fight for the betterment of their community, for justice for their families. And it's just such a gift and a blessing to see that strength within our communities and reflected in our communities, those mentors within our communities. And so this song is originally by Olivia Tailfeathers, but I learned it through, of course, Sandra, as well as through Stephanie. And so this is Gitsikakumin, which is the Blackfoot I Love You song. And when we sing it, I sing it to everyone. I sing it to Na'a, which is our beautiful Mother Earth. I sing it to Mohinstis, because that's where we live. And then, of course, back to everyone, because I think it's important to tell everyone how much we honor and appreciate them and love them. Even when we're having fights with people, it's important to tell them that you love them. And that actually helps us to keep that anger in check and in focus. But we need to love people unconditionally, because that's truly where magic is. Gitsy got coming, everyone. Gitsy got coming, everyone. Gitsy got coming, everyone. Gitsy got coming. Way yo, way yo, way yo. Gitsy got coming, Gitsy got coming. Mokinstis, Gitsy got coming. Mokinstis, Gitsy got coming. Mokinstis, Gitsy got coming. Way yo, way yo, way yo, way yo. Gitsy got coming, Gitsy got coming. Nah, Gitsy got coming. Nah, Gitsy got coming. Nah, Gitsy got coming. Way yo, way yo, way yo. Gitsy got coming, Gitsy got coming, everyone. Gitsy got coming, everyone. Gitsy got coming, everyone. Gitsy got coming. Way yo, way yo, way yo, way yo. Gitsy got coming. Awesome. I do love that song. It's a nice way to say I love you. So the next song I want to share is the Strong Woman song. And this song was originally known as the Turtle Song because women are directly connected to the turtle. Women are directly connected to the moon. And so Turtle Island is our beautiful Mother Earth, so she continues to give us life. And so this is where the life-giving ability of being a woman is, but it's also the ability to bring people together in a community, because that's lifeblood of community, really. And it also is, when we look at a turtle, it has 28 ridges along the outside to represent the 28 days in the moon cycle, which is in the 28 days in our own moon cycle. This is why it's called our moon time. But also the 13 bumps in the year, the 13 bumps on the turtle's back represent the 13 moons in a year, which of course is the 13 moons that we have within our own cycle. And so it's directly connected to the moon, it's directly connected to the turtle. And this is why this song was a natural fit for being the strong woman song, because it reminds us that we still have those cycles to go through, but we always end up stronger. Every time we go through our moon cycle, our moon ceremony, it's a sacrifice. It's our body is sacrificing ourselves. When we give birth, it's our body sacrificing. But it reminds us that we can have those physical sacrifices, but we can also have those emotional or those mental or those spiritual sacrifices as well. But that's what makes us strong. It's the ability to sacrifice without expecting anything in return, but knowing that it's the right thing to do. That's true strength. And so it honors all of those strong women who are on the front lines, really fighting for their communities and fighting for justice every day. It honors those strong men that walk beside us. It honors all those two-spirit people who bring everyone together on this path. And it just honors that strength that each and every one of us has within us to be those pillars in our community to help raise those voices of people who are marginalized or people who might not have their voices heard. We have that ability to share their stories. And so this is the Strong Woman song, or the Turtle song. And this is an Oji Cree song. So I wanted to share the healing song as well. So I think it's really important for us to kind of come together and heal. We have to heal together as a community. When we share healing, we have to make sure that we're healed within before we can heal others. And so it's really about recognizing what we need in our own lives. And it's really about knowing that we have the strength to heal ourselves. We don't have to wait for somebody else to come and rescue us, to come and save us. We have everything that we need And it's okay to ask for help once in a while, but it's really important to recognize that people can't fix you if you're not willing to fix yourself. And so this is really what healing is about. It's about recognizing that self-power and that self-worth and that self-love to be able to heal in a good way, to be able to break those cycles of trauma and abuse that have maybe happened and perpetuated for generations. And so when we sing this song, it used to be a ceremony song, so we only used to share it in ceremony. But many different elders have said now is the time where we have to come together as a community to heal. And we have to be able to heal not only ourselves, but everyone around us. When we look at the intergenerational trauma, we're not, as Indigenous people, we're not the only ones who carry it. There are those settlers who carry it as well. That's that guilt from what their ancestors have done, and they do carry that guilt with them. And so it's about coming together and acknowledging that we have that shared history, but we need to heal from it and move forward together in a beautiful way. And so that's really what this song is about. And we've seen miracles happen with this song. So we sing it, of course, in 4 rounds. But the 3rd round, we actually stop drumming. And that's that healing round where we think of those things in our lives that we need healing for, whether it be healing for our friends or our family or ourselves. Don't forget to pray for yourself. It's really important. But it's really about acknowledging, you know, where that energy needs to go and what prayers are. They're just intention. So it's about setting that intention for that energy and for that healing. And then when the drum comes back, it's about releasing that energy, releasing those intentions, and letting Creator or the universe or God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you believe in, do the work that needs to be done with that energy. But if you hold on to it, it's never going to go anywhere. So you need to release it. We do this song as a heartbeat, very much like that. This is a women's beat or an honor beat or a healing beat because it's the only beat that we have within us. It's that heartbeat. It's that pulse that everything in nature has, that we have. It reminds us that we're alive, we're still here, and we're deeply connected to each other. And so this is the Cree healing song, also called the crying song or the wailing song. And so again, when that drum beat stops, set those intentions, and when it comes back, let it out. Another women's song that I love to share. This is the Women's Warrior song. This is from the West Coast, and so it's really become a theme, and just that representation of all of the women that we've lost out on the West Coast, whether it be through the Highway of Tears or in East Hastings Street, all of the women that have been taken out there. But also it's just become an anthem for women across Canada to really rise up as warriors. And what a warrior is, it's someone who stands up for what's right. You don't have to be in people's faces to be a warrior. You can be a gentle warrior, doing that work behind the scenes, taking care of, your friends and your family and your community in a meaningful way and a gentle way. We have warriors who bead to make a difference. So there's so many different groups of women who are expressing their culture and reclaiming their culture, and that is an act of being a warrior, reclaiming who you are and being proud of who you are and where you've come from. That's truly a warrior spirit. It's really about making sure that no one else gets left behind and making sure that everyone's voice is brought to the table and heard. That's what a warrior is. And so this is the Women's Warrior Song. And so now, in honor of the Valentine's Day Memorial March, I'm just going to slide my drum over here. We have this beautiful drum. So I have created this drum. This drum is made from buffalo hide or bison hide if you want to be specific, but notice how thick it is. This is a really thick drum. I've taken it into many sweat lodges because it is so thick and it just keeps its voice even within the lodge. I don't have a drumstick. I'll have a drumstick next broadcast. But this beautiful drawing, or this beautiful painting, is from Sam Baghetti, and he is just a phenomenal artist. I love it when we can come together and create something together. So this drum I created a while ago. I'm going to show a little bit more detail. And so you'll notice it's actually fishtailed here. And this is done sailor style. So it goes from point to point to point to point. And when I create sailor's drums, it reminds us about setting goals and knowing exactly where we're going and how to get there. It's really about honoring our path and honoring not getting distracted on our path. My drum is also Salish, just it's a little bit bigger, but you'll notice it goes from point to point to point. It's because I get distracted, and so it teaches me not to get distracted. It teaches me to really stay on point. I know sometimes I have the attention span of a ferret and I go all over the place, but it's really about setting those goals and sticking to them, honoring the path set ahead of us, and no procrastinating. This is what this style teaches us, because the Salish knew that they had to know exactly where they were going, how to get there, when to get there, because if not, they would get into some trouble. Because when we look at maps now of, those like lovely cartoony maps of the island, about like Victoria or Vancouver Island, it's not just one island. There's like tons and tons and tons of little teeny tiny islands all around Salish territory. So they had to know exactly where they were going and how to get there, or else, they went the wrong way, they could get stuck on some rocks. They went the other way, they could get, washed out to sea. If they went at the wrong time of the day, they could get stuck with high tide or on low tide, which would be even worse. And if they went the wrong way and they got stuck during high tide or low tide, then they might be on an island that wasn't exactly friendly territory. So they had to know exactly where they were going and how to get there. So it was really about goal setting. and really about taking the time to plan those routes out. So know your point A, point B, point C. It's really easy to look at something and then get distracted along the way. But if you know exactly the steps that are leading you there, you'll get there. You'll get to your path. And so that's what this style represents. And so, and then of course the eagle is really about keeping the eye on the prize. It's about our connection to Creator. It's about really honoring and acknowledging, how high the eagle flies. He never loses sight of anything in front of us, but he also has that power to pinpoint and focus when he needs to. And so it's really about honoring and acknowledging the relationship that we have with the eagle, how sacred the eagle feathers are, because the eagle flies closest to Creator, and so it carries those messages to Creator on its feathers. And so, yeah, this is just such a beautiful, beautiful drum. And so, onwards. So I figured out some really cool technology things. So I'm going to go bing, and I'm going to make it show up. I'm not sure if it's going to show up, but there we go. So drum draffle. There we go. It's over here. It's over here. Okay. The tickets are $15 each. You can get 2 for $25 or 5 for $50. And you can either email me or text or phone me for more information, or if you want to do the e-transfer, you can do that way, or you can PM me for more info as well. We're going to be doing I'm going to pull up my calendar here and tell you when we're going to be doing the draw. So we'll be doing the draw on my live stream the week before the Valentine's Day Memorial March. So that would be on the 9th of February. So on the 9th of February, you will, I'll do the draw live here, which is pretty cool. And then I will, if you're here in Calgary, I will run it out to you. I will drop it off. If you are, or Airdrie or Cochrane or even Chestermere or even Okotoks, I will drive. But if you aren't, I will ship it out to you. And so again, drum draffle. It's not a raffle, it's not a draw, it's a draffle because, it's not really going. So we split the pot 3 ways, and so a third of it goes to Sam so that he can continue to paint and buy new things. A third of it goes to me so that I can buy more materials and of course make more drums. And then the other third goes directly into the Valentine's Day Memorial March Fund. And yeah, so we'll be able to have an event this year, however that event looks. So I will know more next week about how that event is going to look, because I have been watching the news like a hawk. But in the interim, I want to wish everybody a beautiful week. It's supposed to start getting cold here in Mohkinstsis and in other places, so please stay warm, stay safe, and take care of each other. Make sure that you connect with the people that you really haven't connected to in quite some time. It's a gift and a blessing, the technology that we do have, because you can actually, spend a 45-minute Zoom call. It's so much better than over the phone because you can actually see people's faces and you can do it with no pants. It's great. So this, I just wanted to send everybody on their way in a good way with the travel song. So this is the Anishinaabe travel song, and I'd heard it originally through my elder Sharon Turner, who I miss dearly, and I've been dreaming about her a lot lately, so there must be something big coming. So I've been thinking about her quite a bit, and this song just really is about finding your path home. It's really about acknowledging how we are so deeply connected to each other, and I think sometimes we think that the further we drift away from home, to find ourselves, that maybe we can't come back. Well, we can always come back. It's like those old friends who you might not have even spoken to in like 5 years, but then as soon as you talk to them again, it's like you're just picking up exactly where you left off. And this one really honors that. It's about traveling. It's about knowing where you're going and really acknowledging your journey, not just your destination, but your journey, because that's what teaches you about yourself. It's about traveling safely, and it's about knowing that all roads lead home. And home is where you make it. Home is here in your heart. And your friends can become your family. And that's truly what home is. It's connection. It's love. And it's that unconditional way that we accept each other and we honor those bonds together. And we learn together and grow together in a good way. So this is the traveling song.
yeah, if you guys have any questions, send me a message. If you guys want to enter the drum raffle, I'll have the board up next week. I'm gonna aim to sell 100 squares, and so it'll be nice and multicolored because I love color. But yeah, again, have a beautiful week. Stay warm. Take care of each other, and yeah, hi, Magwitch, and see you next week. Bye. Oops, how do I stop this? There it is.